Sign up for school closing alerts sent right to your phone at NBC10.com now.
Turnpike pileup. Mangled wreckage remains on the interstate.
I ran into him. He ran into me. These trucks plowed into them. It was like a bounce around pinball machine out here.
Dozens of cars and semis involved.
Real bad.
The speed limit was raised just 2 hours before the chain reaction crash. But drivers say the turnpike was just too dangerous.
It was literally just black ice, and even if you stopped, you were still going forward. There was nothing you could really do.
NBC 10 breaking news.
And Skyforce 10 was over that stretch of the Turnpike just over an hour ago as it was reopened. It was slow going at first. 2 police cruisers led the way for drivers.
And this is where the pileup happened, along the Turnpike in Lower Southampton Township, Bucks County, in between the Ben Salem and Willow Grove exits. It's been a long day for the victims of this crash.
Now NBC 10 is working to get answers. Here's what we know. The first accident happened just after 8 o'clock this morning. We counted as Skyforce 10 flew overhead. When it was all said and done, we saw more than 50 cars, trucks, and tractor trailers involved in separate accidents. 27 people were hurt. And now we have a team of reporters uncovering new information on this still breaking news story. We begin with NBC 10's Doug Schimel live on the scene of the crash.
Doug, you spoke directly to those who were in the thick of this mangled trap for hours today.
Exactly, and they all pointed out that this is one of the glaring drawbacks of a limited access turnpike, and it's a drawback that turned it into a prison for most of the day.
It was literally one sheet of black ice, and I didn't even see any salt on the road.
It's out just how inaccessible this stretch of the Pennsylvania Turnpike is when you have a disaster like this. Live in Lower Southampton Township, I'm Doug Schimel, NBC 10 News.
As we've been saying, it all started with an accident involving dozens of cars and tractor trailers. That sparked a series of chain reaction crashes.
I seen this truck right here flying to the barrier, snow flying everywhere.
In the end, more than 24 people were taken to area hospitals. NBC 10's Deanna Durante has been keeping watch on the victims who were injured in this crash.
Deanna's live outside Abington Hospital. You spoke to some of the accident victims who are recounting the moments leading up to their injuries. What are they telling you, Deanna?
Well, that it was horror and they can't believe that they're alive. We can tell you 27 patients transported to hospitals from Center City, Philadelphia to Doylestown. Many of the suburban hospitals tell us that they have treated and released some patients. We can tell you that one patient is at Temple Hospital. He is listed in fair condition, and one woman who was released here, so she can't believe she's able to talk about what happened.
I can tell you I'm going to have nightmares for a long time to come.
Marge Brady says she thinks she was hit 4 times, maybe even more, before her car came to a stop between 2 tractor trailers.
The angels are there for sure.
She says once she knew she was going to be okay, she worried about the others, including those in the cars that hit her.
The cars were just like all over the place. Some were off the road. I'm blessed, and I truly, truly am today.
Now, doctors here at Abington Hospital say they too are stunned. They saw the images on TV before patients began arriving and couldn't believe that the injuries they saw were not more severe. Reporting live in Abington, Deanna Durante, NBC 10 News.
New at 5:30, the critical role of social media in all of this and how drivers who got trapped in this traffic tie-up helped tell the breaking news story as it happened live on the air. And our weather expert, Chief Meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz, analyzes conditions in that area when the crash happened and what role they may have played in all of this. And at 6 o'clock, NBC 10 investigator Harry Harrison with a closer look at the decision to lift speed limit restrictions on the Turnpike before the collision.
Right now you can see videos and photo galleries from NBC 10 viewers who are stuck in all this mess. Our web team has assembled it all on NBC10.com.
Now your NBC 10 First Alert weather.
Well, just when you thought we were in the clear, NBC 10 First Alert weather is tracking more snow for the weekend. So let's turn to NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Sheena Parveen.
Sheena, what can we expect this time?
Yeah, you know, it's just one after the other. They just keep on coming. We can expect more snow accumulating as we start off the weekend. Take a look at what's behind me here. We have some rain and snow moving into the Ohio River Valley. Snow again accumulating to start off your Saturday. It's not here yet. Your Friday evening will be dry, but it's really Saturday morning that we're watching. watching. Future weather here really shows the rain and the snow, and as we go through time tonight, it gets closer. Doesn't move in really though until Saturday morning. So now here's 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Even by the middle of the day, we'll be dealing with snow falling through part of the area, and some of us may only just see the rain. In the meantime, until we get to tomorrow morning, we're talking about a pretty nice afternoon compared to what we've seen recently. Temperature right now in Philadelphia, 43 degrees, if you can believe that. 43 Millville, 46 degrees in Dover, 38 in Allentown, 40 degrees in Pottstown. So your Friday evening looks pretty good. 7 p.m. partly cloudy, mid-30s by then. And we'll see the clouds increasing as we get towards 9 o'clock, mid-30s. So still kind of a cold evening for you. By 10 o'clock tonight, cloudy, but we'll stay dry. Not until tomorrow morning do we expect to see the snowfall. So coming up, we'll take a closer look at the snow starting off your weekend and how much you can expect this time. The majority of streets are plowed to the pavement in Philadelphia, but the streets department says it will be a few more hours before cleanup crews. Skyforce 10 now over the scene of breaking news in Belmar, Camden County. That is where a car just drove into a fence at Market Street and Adams Avenue. Rescue crews are trying to get the driver out. No word yet on what caused that crash. We'll keep you updated as we get more information. NBC 10 News is following a developing story in South Jersey. The discovery of a woman's body.
She was found naked on the side of the road in Atlantic County. NBC 10 South Jersey Bureau reporter Sydney Long live at the prosecutor's office in Mays Landing, where she's been talking to investigators. Sydney, what are they telling you?
Well, Keith, a source tells NBC 10 that the woman was nude and appeared to be beaten and strangled. But as of right now, there is no official cause of death and no arrests. We spoke with a local farmer, one of the owners of Atlantic Blueberry, who discovered the body.
Shocking. That's the best way I could put it. To see that.
Rob Galetta, any suspicious activity or has information should contact Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office. We're live in Mays Landing tonight. I'm Sydney Long, NBC 10 News.
Well, also happening tonight, a scare in the burbs.
The blast that shook one family. NBC 10 News with a story behind the incident that blew out the windows of this South Jersey home.
Also a visit from the president. President Putin, that is. NBC 10 takes her live to Sochi to explain why the Russian leader paid a visit to Team USA.
And a new reason to dread the doctor. The new findings that show how an office visit for the kids may backfire on their health.
This is NBC 10 News.
This portion of NBC 10 News is sponsored by Adventure Aquarium.
When news breaks, count on NBC 10 to be there.
Breaking news we're following for you. A number of accidents have shut down the Pennsylvania Turnpike eastbound. It's going to take hours to get this untangled.
We're going to fly down the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
We will continue live streaming this on NBC10.com.
And this is the eastbound traffic.
So these are roads that you're going to be able to utilize.
For the most complete coverage of the day's biggest stories as they happen, watch. Now, your NBC 10 First Alert weather with meteorologist Sheena Parveen.
And we are tracking again yet another snow system, bringing some snow to start off your weekend. But for your Friday evening, we will be staying dry. It's going to be a dry night tonight, so you can go out and enjoy whatever you have planned. It will be cold, though. Then we have more snow coming. This is mostly going to be to start off your Saturday, start off your weekend. But at least we have something very different in the forecast to look forward to, a big warming trend coming as we go into next week. Here's what it looks like outside right now, Center City, Philadelphia, from the Adventure Aquarium across the river in Camden. We're seeing just about partly cloudy skies, but a nice sunset for us as it is still dry out with no snow falling right now. 43 degrees in Philadelphia, so pretty nice day. Winds a little breezy still right near 15 miles an hour. Here's a look at the snow, though. It's still back off to our west. We have snow moving into Ohio, rain down to the south through parts of Tennessee, and this system will be moving in as we go into tomorrow. But locally, we're just seeing some clouds around, and as we go into tonight, we're actually going to see the clouds increasing through the overnight hours before you wake up tomorrow morning. And then we'll see that snow move in. So here's future weather we watch as we go through tonight. Not much happening. This is the storm total after the first round of snow and the second round of snow. In case you were wondering, a lot of snow already piled up. For tonight, clouding up, clouds increasing, refreezing late. So remember that on untreated surfaces, if it's wet, could be icy tomorrow morning. 28 Philadelphia, 24 degrees north and west. Then for tomorrow, we'll see a period of snow mostly the first half of the day, and then it shifts down to the south and east. Windy in the afternoon. Temperature anywhere from 35 to 38 degrees. So Saturday, we have a period of snow. Then on Sunday, we're dry, but we're also cold, 29 degrees. Monday doesn't look too bad right now. And then as we go into Tuesday, we have some rain and snow showers in the forecast. But take a look at the temperatures. Once we get into Wednesday, 54 degrees. And then as we end out the week, we are right around 60.
Does it really say 60?
Like the look of that, that's for sure.
It is a big job clearing out all the snow from parking lots. Skyforce 10 over Southampton and Bucks County. Crews were plowing out spaces in lots around 2nd Street, Pike, and Roselle Avenue.
In Montgomery County now, a great investment right here if you can afford it and find one, that is. NBC 10 outside the post office in Ardmore. Crews were clearing the sidewalks without the pain associated with shoveling that we're all too familiar with at this point in the season. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Trenton cleaning up after the storm. The city tells NBC 10 it is low on salt supplies and manpower. Many of the streets in Trenton were only plowed once, if at all. City Council President George Muskell says crews used all 20 of the city's trucks to clear what they could.
And with more snow on the way, you can track it yourself with our live interactive radar on your smartphone or tablet with the NBC 10 weather app. It's a free download that you can get right now on our website, NBC10.com. Well, we know what that music means at this point. The first full week of the 2014 Olympic Winter Games officially in the books. And guess who showed up to greet Team USA? That guy right there, Russian President Vladimir Putin. We'll get the story behind his visit in just a few seconds.
And here's a look. Tomorrow, the bronze, silver, and gold will come with a little something extra that is out of this world. Watch the Olympic Zone tonight at 7:30 right here on NBC 10. Here's a look of the events in prime time. Tonight, don't miss men's figure skating, men's alpine skiing, women's freestyle skiing, and women's skeleton.
And NBC 10's Vaisa Kahema joins us live from Sochi tonight after the Olympics. You won't want to miss that. Plus, for all the latest Olympic news, go to our website. It's NBC10.com. We've got an entire section devoted to the Sochi Games.
Tonight, remembering a well-known Philadelphia sports figure.
NBC 10 looks back on the life and death of a former Phillies manager. Also this, capturing the moments after the mangled mess. The victims of today's Pennsylvania Turnpike pileup. The perspective from the smartphones as the crisis played out on the busy highway.
This is NBC 10 News.
This
Skyforce 10 over a hit-and-run accident in Bucks County. A 14-year-old boy was taken to the hospital with broken bones after being struck on the 2100 block of Street Road near the Ben Salem Plaza. Police say a car lost control, bounced off a snowbank before hitting that boy who was walking with a group of teens. Authorities say the driver tried to leave the scene but was blocked by other drivers and then taken into custody. Well, to this now, a family of 4 manages to escape their home after an explosion and a fire. Crews rushed to the scene in Haddonfield, Camden County just after 8:30 this morning. The explosion blew out the windows of the home along Upland Way. The blast ignited a fast-moving.
This is NBC 10 breaking news.
Twisted metal and a traffic nightmare. The Pennsylvania Turnpike makes national headlines as part of the road becomes a mangled mess. It was not the place to be this morning, of course. NBC 10 in Lower Southampton Township, Bucks County, as rescue crews assisted the injured and then road crews. They tried to untangle dozens of wrecks. The task would take hours. Each victim and witness had their own story to tell.
Cars just start slamming on their brakes, and cars just smashing into everything. Everybody, I should say.
For some drivers, the only way out was to turn around and head the wrong way down the interstate. We have a team of reporters uncovering new information on this. Let's turn now to NBC 10 Chief Meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz.
He's here to talk about the conditions outside at the time of the crash, including the sun glare factor, Glenn.
Yeah, Jacqueline, and as we went through the night last night, the temperature was above freezing, but it went below freezing just before sunrise. And Vince just showed you some pictures of the ice. So yeah, that could have caused the beginning of all this, but why so many cars? Well, it's possible it had something to do with the sunshine. This is a map that shows the Pennsylvania Turnpike. It doesn't just go straight west to east. It's got this curve going in, and that curve could be pretty critical. As we take a look, we'll superimpose the sun angle on this. Now, at sunrise, this is the way the sun is going to be looking. At noontime, it would be here. In the middle, when the crash happened, the sun's coming right at you. So you're driving along the turnpike, looking straight east, the sun's not in your way. But as soon as you make that right curve, you're going right into the sun. The other factor, the huge, fresh, white snow cover, that adds up to the maximum sun glare. And when you get sun glare, what do? You cover your eyes, you can see the car in front of you, but can you see far down the road and see what's happening there? Keith?
All right, Glenn. And new at 6, Harry Hairston and the NBC 10 investigators asked the tough questions about today's Turnpike pileup, including the reasons behind lifting the speed restrictions before the chain reaction crash occurred.
An update now on breaking news from Belmar, Camden County.
Emergency crews are still working to find out what led to a driver going through this fence in front of a house. This is happening here on the last hour. Market Street, Adams Avenue there. Crews had to rescue the driver from his car. Count on us to make calls to get more information on this one.
Now, your NBC 10 First Alert weather.
Not much of a break at all from the winter action. At this hour, NBC 10 First Alert weather is tracking weekend snow now. Let's get more on the timing of this latest snowmaker. Laughing so we don't cry.
Yeah, exactly. We're all exasperated here. For that, we're going to turn to First Alert meteorologist Sheena Parveen. Sheena, fill us in on the latest round of this wintry weather. We're used to it by now, I guess.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, I think 2 more inches may not add too much to what we already see, but this morning, fortunately, the home was vacant and no one was hurt. The relentless winter weather is taking a toll on both air travelers and airlines. Now it's broken another record. The Associated Press reports the recent rash of snow and ice has led to the highest number of flight cancellations in 25 years. In the past 2.5 months, 75,000 flights have been canceled. That includes 14,000 just this week. Yesterday alone, more than 70% of all flights in Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and Charlotte were canceled. Speaking of travel, chances are those Valentine's Day flowers sitting on your desk or kitchen table today traveled a long way to get there. Approximately 85% of the flowers imported into the United States arrived by plane at Miami International Airport. They're rushed to a chilled warehouse and then a refrigerated truck before ending up at your local florist. So quite a journey.
Yeah, we want to wish a warm, happy Valentine's Day to everyone in our viewing area as well.
Absolutely. Sending the love out to all of you.
In the meantime, questions linger tonight about leadership in New Jersey's capital city.
The mayor is a convicted criminal, but still in office.
Yeah, tonight, NBC 10 asks who's calling the shots and how is the city of Trenton malfunctioning? Rather, functioning just 1 week after Tony Mack was found guilty. And then all new on NBC 10 News at 6.
Majority of city streets are clean, but then there are some that still look like this one. We're asking city officials why the work isn't finished yet.
This is NBC 10 News.
February 24th to show a judge why exactly he still should be mayor even after this conviction. Until then, he still gets to collect his paycheck from his 6-figure salary. On the steps of City Hall in Trenton, I'm Naeem Douglas, NBC 10 News.
Naeem. NBC 10 News at 6 is next.
Here are National Fatan, Jim Rosenfield.
And coming up next on NBC 10 News at 6.
The Turnpike pileup, it's all clear now, but hundreds of drivers were left frustrated and wanting answers. The NBC 10 investigators found out why speed restrictions were lifted on the Turnpike just hours before the crash.
Trapped on the Turnpike. I'm Christine Medella. Coming up at 6 o'clock, I'll introduce you to a husband and wife who was stuck on the Pennsylvania Turnpike for 6 hours in the middle of it all. What they did, what they saw, coming up.
Well, have you had enough yet? More snow for Saturday. I'm tracking how much to expect this time around in my First Alert forecast.